Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to KAUST Live. My name is Nicholas Demille. I'm the head of editorial services here at KAUST. Today I'm joined by three PhD students here at the university. We're here because of the Innovation to Impact Roundtable. It's an event that's going to be taking place all day tomorrow. And so we are talking about innovation and entrepreneurship. There are going to be a number of thought leaders that are going to be here. They're going to deliver keynote speeches and things. But of course, we wanted to make that more specific to our institution here at KAUST and talk to students a little bit about entrepreneurship, innovation, and what impact that has for the three of you. So if you guys can just introduce yourselves, starting with you, Yasmin.
Sure. Hi, my name is Yasmin Najm. I'm a PhD student here at KAUST, as you said. I'm studying environmental science and engineering, and I'm doing my PhD in wastewater treatment and reuse.
Excellent.
Yes.
Ryan?
All right, my name is Ryan Lafers. I'm also a PhD student here at KAUST, also in environmental science and engineering. And my topic is focused around sustainable agriculture and water use.
My name is Nadal Jassim. I'm also a PhD student at the Environmental Science and Engineering Department at KAUST. The PhD project focuses on the safety of wastewater for reuse.
Great. So let's get into, and Ryan, if you can start us off,
Sure.
Let's get into a little bit of entrepreneurship. What impact does that have on the three of you as students? And at what level do you get the chance and the freedom to sort of be entrepreneurial here?
Sure. So I think one of the things that drew me to KAUST originally was the entrepreneurial sort of thrust that exists in KAUST. I think because of the unique vision that King Abdullah had for the university and it being a graduate-only institution in itself, KAUST is entrepreneurial in its nature. And we have, innovation and economic development and that thrust and that focus of really bringing entrepreneurship into the work that we do. From the business side, but also from the research side, there's a lot of things that we do related to the thrusts of KAUST, food, energy, water, and the environment, that are truly innovative. And some of the topics that are really being studied here at KAUST are really important and entrepreneurial in nature.
Yasmin, can you talk a little bit about your research and how you're able to be entrepreneurial in what you do?
Sure. So my work is involving wastewater treatment and how to make it a more sustainable technology, because currently wastewater is treated as more like a problem rather than a resource. So we're trying to change that paradigm, that concept that wastewater doesn't have resources, but it's actually just a recycle of what we produced. So my project focuses on wastewater treatment with microalgae. So microalgae has unique benefits because you can use it to create biofuels due to its high lipid content. And you could even use it as a food resource, as well as making wastewater treatment a more sustainable way because it's a photosynthetic microorganism and it helps bacteria to oxidize organics, which is how you treat wastewater. So basically this idea came about because we tried to be creative in a way and also try to bring in wastewater and make it actually like a product rather than a problem.
Yeah.
So I think that like the project itself is sort of entrepreneurial because it's a new concept.
And how far down the road to being an actual technology has this come for you?
Well, so far right now we are working on the proof of concept. So we're building lab scale reactors, but hopefully in the near future we'll be building it to pilot scale, and if that works, then it could become a proper technology. And we have a lot of pilot scale facilities in our center, in the Water Desalination and Reuse Center. So we definitely have this entrepreneurial idea, actually bringing and translating our research into a true technology, not just keeping it in the labs. Yeah.
What is involved in taking something from that idea up to pilot scale, as you say?
So we need to have a lot of tests, considering that wastewater is a very variable resource. It changes every day. So microalgae is a robust microorganism, but we still don't know all of the problems that can be associated. And because it's a photosynthetic microorganism, we need sunlight. But because Saudi Arabia is a very hot country, and temperature also might not be a very good idea because we have too much sunlight and too much heat, that it could also like kill the microorganisms.
Right.
So we have to try to find out. These challenges are a bit tough, but because we have all the resources, we can actually build a scale in a way to fix these problems. But we're slowly getting there.
Yeah. No, that sounds very interesting. Yeah. Now, how about your work? Tell us a little bit about how you have the freedom to sort of explore new ideas.
Sure. So at KAUST, I think we have the great privilege that financial resources have never been a problem. Any idea that you would like to pursue, you're able to go after. Our focus is problem solving for the world and the environment and for Saudi Arabia. And sometimes that means making, at least in our center, water treatment a little bit cheaper. In other instances, it means finding an extra resource in the wastewater, just like Yasmin and Ryan are doing. They're retrieving energy from the water or using it to irrigate plants. In my work, I'm making use of the natural resource of sunlight and testing how that might have the ability to make our wastewater even more safe for reuse and irrigation. And more than that, KAUST has allowed me the opportunity to travel abroad all over the world to speak about my research and share my ideas with professors and students and my peers from around the world. And I think a bigger part than you might expect of the progress I've been able to achieve has been thanks to that, because there's so much knowledge out there that we have to share it together. And I think when two people put their heads together, you get farther than you would have if each of them had been working on their own. It's the effort amplifies.
Yeah, yeah. So that brings up collaborations in a way. Ryan, can you talk a little bit about collaborators that you have, abroad as well as here?
Yeah, sure. So I've worked with collaborators really around the globe, Europe, US, Australia. And it's like Neda was saying, so you just really get so much farther, so much faster with collaboration, because different people have different experiences, which lead to different ideas and different sets of skills. So when you use those together, you just end up with a more complete picture and a better initial understanding that allows you to go farther faster. So, yeah.
Any experiences you can talk about that helped you sort of move an idea forward, to innovate? The effect of these collaborations, I guess, helping you guys innovate?
Well, if I may share a story.
Please, yeah.
First of all, there's the small interpersonal level. We work in the same university, and sometimes I might need some equipment that we don't have. So instead of ordering it and waiting for a couple of months, I might walk up to Yasmin or Ryan and see if they have it. But maybe a bigger example is the example of my own advisor sending me to the US for a couple of months one summer to acquire expertise and training that were not available, at least easily to us here at KAUST quite yet. And now that I've acquired these skills, I can teach them to somebody else at KAUST before I leave. So we collaborated, we acquired knowledge from abroad, and we brought it back here, and we can spread it to even more people that way.
Yasmin?
I also had one collaboration project with a university in Portugal, in Lisbon. And that was also a very unique opportunity because I spent 3 weeks there, which was a short period, but enough to be creating, having some ideas for future projects, as well as learning a little bit of their techniques because they had expertise in certain methods. And I managed to also translate what I had because we had very different projects. They focused on harvesting microalgae for certain products, and I was focused on wastewater treatment and cultivation. So we managed to kind of like help each other with what's the knowledge that I gained from here and their knowledge that they have. So I think this is a very important thing that, and because of that, they might be coming in here and we'll create this kind of collaboration, this partnership. And a lot of universities are doing this, and a lot of our researchers in KAUST are creating these collaborations with many universities. We have so many universities connecting with us, which is a great thing, honestly. So
Yes.
And the two of you were part of a program that you went abroad and did your undergrad with the intent of coming back to KAUST. So talk a little bit about what is our KGSP program.
Sure. So both me and Yasmin were part of the KAUST Gifted Student Program. This program is a scholarship that sends high school graduates to the United States to pursue their bachelor's degree in the top universities, and it supports them in gaining as much experience as they can over the summer doing research and internships and maintaining a really high academic level. And then these students come back to KAUST to pursue their graduate degrees. And we feel that this program is sort of generating the youth who are going to support Saudi Arabia and the world in the future. It's generating qualified, highly educated individuals that are going to come here and achieve great things. Some of us will stay in the country, you know, and start businesses or become professors and lecturers. Some of us are going to go abroad and acquire more skills and expertise and bring them back to the country.
Yeah. How has that been for you? When did you come to KAUST?
So we've been with KAUST since 2008.
2008, yeah.
But we first started our bachelor's, so we came here in 2012. So we've been here for 5 years almost.
Wow.
We've done our master's, and right now we're pursuing our PhD, and we're almost finished, actually. Another year to go.
Very good.
And one thing actually that I'd like to add is that the KGSP program has created a really big sense of belonging for us. We're really grateful for the opportunity, and it motivates us so much to be able to give back and fulfill on those promises.
So have an impact, essentially. Yeah. Ryan, tell us about your path to KAUST.
Yeah, I'll give you the short version.
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of people ask me, well, how did you hear about KAUST, or how did you get to KAUST? And a bit ironically, in light of the Saudi American sort of collaboration that's going to be discussed tomorrow, is that I heard about it through a Saudi roommate. So Yasmin and Nadda talked about the KGSB, which they were a part of, but there's a number, we're talking like hundreds of thousands of Saudi students who are not KGSB, who are also studying in the US. And so I had the privilege of having more than one Saudi roommate, but one in particular introduced me to KAUST and said, you should think about going to KAUST. Check out a PhD there. So I did. I applied, and
when was that?
I applied back in 2011, I believe. Yeah, probably summer of 2011, and I arrived winter 2013, so January 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when the three of you think about completing degrees and moving on, where does the future lead for the three of you? Any ideas?
Should I say?
Sure,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
So I think, from my case, I would like to continue with research. So probably working in industry, just because of the nature of my project. I think an industry would be a better option for the next step. And maybe focusing on R&D, so research and development in big companies that work in water treatment mainly, or microalgae if so. But we also have a lot of opportunities to become entrepreneurs here, and as Saudis and non-Saudis, which is a great opportunity here in KAUST, everybody is able to open up businesses. So we could even translate our research and open up a startup. That's also another option that we're still open to.
Ryan, I think you're part of a startup venture of some kind. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So about 2 years ago, my co-founder and I started a startup actually registered in the U.S. called A&A Epiphany, but focused on sustainable agriculture and specifically aquaponics, which is a technology that recycles water to grow fish and vegetables. So it's a really interesting and promising technology, and one that's being done on a commercial scale now around the world. So we have that going, and we have some projects around, a couple in the U.S., some here in Saudi Arabia as well. So yeah, that's a bit about our startup.
Very good. Nada, have you been involved in any entrepreneurial activities on campus? There's a bit of a community for this, but I always ask students if they're getting involved.
Well, KAUST gives us many opportunities to pitch your ideas and then compete. You know, a lot of pitch your idea in 1 or 3 minutes to like attract the audience and receive like a significant financial award or funding to pursue the research that you want. I have not personally competed in one of them, but I've supported my friend Ryan and many of my other friends in KAUST. And a few of them have actually started businesses here in KAUST, and they're growing. They're starting to hire people, and I'm really proud of them.
Very good. Any other final thoughts about entrepreneurship or your research in general?
Well, I think everybody should try it.
Yeah.
You'll never know if you have to fail once to succeed, right? So I think everybody should try it. It's just about taking that step and actually trying it out, because a lot of us have ideas. Ideas are always floating, but if you don't put it in paper, then what's the point of having those ideas? So you have to start, and especially that KAUST it's just so easy, just going into the center and talking to these people, and they're all experts in this. You just have to do it, so do it.
Any examples you want to give us of that in your career thus far?
Well, so far I haven't purely started, but I went to the Innovation Center, and they did tell me that they would help me devise a business plan and and actually like create the idea and really develop it. So we're still in progress. So
very good.
We'll see.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you to our Facebook audience for joining us. Please stay tuned to the page. There are going to be lots more activities taking place, a lot more live Facebook broadcasts from the Innovation to Impact Roundtable. Stay with us. Thank you for joining us.